If you were to do a simple search on Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago, you will be overwhelmed by photos and videos of this. Even soca music, though popular, solidifies one belief that Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is all about the bikini costumes, the abs, and the crazy fest, which is false and misguiding. In this video, I'll briefly explain what Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is actually like, and disclose all the other fun traditional activities that are overlooked by tourists and even locals in favor of this. And who could blame them? Which idiot would not want to be around this? Or this, doing this? Yes, my friends, dry humping is fun. Let me say first, Carnival is usually the second week in February, and it only goes on for 2 days. After these 2 days, the festival has officially ended, and it's always on a Monday and Tuesday. Some years, the season is protracted, and it ends early March, but that doesn't happen very often. The season actually starts long before the previous year, around late June, early July, somewhere around there. I say this because some soca artists release a taste of their music for the following year. Carnival bands launch their costumes around the same time as the soca music. Not all at once though, it's a highly anticipated event. So, to get the most attention from a band launch, companies will launch just weeks apart, but never at the same time. And most sections are completely sold out just a few weeks after launch. Months go by, bands continue to be launched, soca artists continue to put out their musical content. Now we're in December. Christmas takes away most of the attention of soca music, but all that ends on the 27th of December. Soca music is blasted on every radio station as expected. Fetes happen just a few days after the Christmas, with the first popular fete unofficially being soca in Mocha. But here's where the traditional carnival related activities really begin. And first off the bat is usually stick fighting. The stick fighters begin to organize. Stick fighting is a tradition that has been around for decades, but a lot of locals and foreigners overlook the sport. It's actual combat between two opponents, using thick 3-foot pieces of wooden sticks. And it's very dangerous. It takes years of experience and practice just to be able to compete in these events. Competitors sometimes lose fingers and in some cases even an eye. Every competition that happens during the carnival season comes in stages. First, the preliminaries, then the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, and then finals. So the stick fighting begins. Early January, soca artists release the remainder of their music, and they releasing music like this is strategic. Let me explain. If a song is a hit and released too early, it loses popularity before the season ends. So when releasing soca music for the season, timing is everything. Pan players use soca music as content. Early January, pan players practice daily, learning the popular soca music songs to play at competitions. Let me add, at the start of the new year, carnival fetes happen only on the weekend. That's Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You get maybe 2 or 3 big fetes and a dozen smaller ones on those days. We're still in the first and second week, and it's an opportune time for all the other events to get started. One said event is extempo, and I love this. If you never heard of extempo, imagine a rap battle from 8 Mile, but only instead of rap, they battle with calypso music.
Well, darling, it look at it so truly. You really want to start a war with me? Well, if it's so, then I am feeling shame. First, I want to ask you how you get that name. Looking at you, then it's plain to see the name must be fitting appropriately. I don't know who give you it. Well, if they are wise, they call you Lady Africa because of your size.
These guys are given a topic and are expected to improvise a song on the spot. Those who make it to the finals battle each other in a freestyle calypso battle, and these guys are so talented. I watch this every year, but it's not as big or as popular as other events, but it does has its following. Alright, the fourth thing to look out for is the chutney soca monarch. Note, this is extremely popular with the Indian community in TNT, but I guarantee you will love it. The chutney artists are talented and creative, and their music is generously received by both locals and foreigners. If you never heard chutney music, it's similar to Indian music, but sung in English, sometimes Hindi, you know what? In fact, it's just like Indian music, but with our own personal touch. Then we have calypso. This is where it all started. I can't tell you how much I love calypso music. Creative geniuses is what you call these guys. If you never heard of calypso music, go look it up right now. Their content is sometimes relevant to current events, and one song could go on for almost 10 minutes, but I highly recommend it. Before there were different categories like humor and political, and it was great, but now I think it's just one category. You just go and sing whatever song you have that year. Judges determines who win this competition. Calypsonians get points for things like presentation, crowd response, performance, etc. I guarantee you will be impressed. If you're in TNT around the carnival season, stop by a calypso tent. I highly recommend it. Also, band players mastering the melody of new soca music this year head to the venues and perform for large crowds. Also, they compete against other pan teams, the winners eventually going on to win Panorama. More on Panorama later. We're now in the third and fourth week in January. Fetes and parties are still every weekend, and quarterfinals have gone by for all events. February. The first week in February. Now we get down to the semi-finals. Keep in mind, these competitions happen mostly on weekdays because weekends are packed with fetes and parties and everything else. All these events compete with each other. Sometimes you would find yourself having to leave one event early just to get to another event before it ends, because there's just so much to do, you don't want to miss anything. Second week in February. Now this is where things start to get out of control. This is the week before Carnival, and this is the week all foreigners arrive in the country for some reason. Every competition finals is crammed into this week. To make things even better, there are multiple parties and fetes daily. And it's this week you realize that you are not able to attend everything. That will make you a little depressed. Locals develop mysterious illnesses and call in sick to work, but still manage to attend fetes somehow. These events are not expensive, but if you would like to attend much of it, it will amount to a lot. As a result, a lot of local people stay home and watch all the competitions on television. It really does save you a lot of cash, and in this way, they can actually see the majority of events, because all the competition finals are televised. Watching events at home really is a popular culture among locals, and they do it for different reasons. Chutney Soca Monarch finals usually goes first, either early in the week or the week before. Same with stick fighting finals. Extempo finals, also called Kaiserama, is usually early in the week also. These days are not set in stone, and even then there's not any guarantee every competition may take place due to budget cuts or whatever. Panorama is Tuesday. That is the National Pan Competition Finals, and it's good. I highly recommend attending. Friday is called Fantastic Friday, and it's known for having a huge soca competition called Soca Monarch. In this contest, soca artists perform their songs in front of huge crowds and are judged. The winners get about $1 million. It's safe to say that people don't get much sleep around this time, surprisingly enough. If you do manage to get any sleep, it is very brief. Saturday has Kiddies Carnival. It gives the younger generation an opportunity to experience Carnival firsthand. Kiddies Carnival is a lot more traditionally done, I'm guessing parents trying to prevent the next generation of this. Sunday is called the Mardi Gras. On this day, the carnival kings and queens are chosen. The winner of the Calypso Soca Monarchs the previous day gets the honor of performing a song in celebration of the new carnival king and queen. Also, on all those days mentioned before, there are a dozen fetes and parties. The next important day is the following Monday. There is a morning celebration called Juve. It starts around 3 AM, don't quote me on the time, and it goes on up until about 10. Juve is very traditional, also I highly recommend it. That's if you don't mind getting dirty. It's still Monday morning, and by 10 AM, costume bands fill the streets. The masqueraders dance en route behind music trucks to different judging points, where they are graded on who knows what. The masqueraders party till late into the night until it's time to go home and get some rest. Then it's back out Carnival Tuesday for even more dancing and whining and drinking and some judging. On Carnival Monday and Tuesday, there are two major competitions. There's Road March. Road March is a prize for the most played Calypso song on Monday and Tuesday. And the other prize is shared between the carnival bands for their creativity. The title is called Band of the Year. It's a prize given for what judges determine to be the best mass band of that year. People parties a whole night on Carnival Tuesday just to soak up the last bit of ecstasy until the carnival season is over. The next day is Ash Wednesday and the start of the Easter season. The same hypocrites that drag humped each other for the past 2 months attend mass along with other heathens. Ash Wednesday is a holiday, so after church it's party at the beach. There are some fetes held at these beaches on Carnival Wednesday, but every party on this day or the rest of the week is themed as a carnival cool down party, which is the same as any other party. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about anything I've mentioned, feel free to ask in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.